Brooklyn Independent Television.
For the past 6 months, Brooklyn residents have been strategizing and voting to get a piece of city funds in a unique process called participatory budgeting. Reporter Fred Brown met up with City Councilmember Brad Lander, who talked about the winning projects.
On this sunny day in Park Slope, City Councilmember Brad Lander is wearing a big smile. That's because now he has $1 million of city budget to spend, thanks to the hands-on approach of residents in his district.
The process was fantastic. Over 2,200 people came out and voted. So you just saw this outpouring on Election Day of people excited about being asked to participate in this very grassroots form of democracy. Normally, elected officials will say, here's what we're going to do with sort of the people's money. This was an opportunity to say, what do people in this community think we should be doing? Where should we be spending the dollars? What are the projects that are needed? So over 6 months, hundreds and hundreds of people came out, gave their ideas, turned those ideas into projects, made sure that they were feasible, figured out how much they would cost, worked with the agencies, worked together in committees to put a ballot together. We got to a ballot of 20 fantastic projects. Over 2,200 people then came out over a few days. We had polling places in different locations around the neighborhood. And people got to vote for the ones that they thought were the most needed in our neighborhood. And the 7 projects that they chose for this $1 million that we have available to spend are all great.
Oh, I'll reverse it backwards. B, I think it's a great thing that the community came together to choose on what they should vote on for the participatory budget. A, I had no idea, and I only live 3 blocks from here. And I don't know why we didn't hear anything. I didn't even know you could go online.
But residents did go online, and they did form committees, which resulted in projects being funded, like at this local public school, which was overwhelmingly voted as the #1 space in need.
So there's a public school down the street where the bathrooms are just gross. You wouldn't want your kids to have to go to school. There's no doors on the stalls. It's the kind of thing, truthfully, that we should just be paying for in the city, but the school's been trying and not been able to get the Department of Education to do it. Now, because the community agrees that's the top priority project, the money's there, it's going to get done.
Now, for some, the idea that a community could be involved in its own citywide budget process was considered revolutionary. But proponents, like Council members Brad Lander and Jamani Williams, saw it differently. They say this was an experiment in inclusive democracy, where constituents actually had their hands in on the process.
It was an extremely inspiring process. I mean, what I saw was people want to participate. They care about their neighborhoods. I think we all know this, but still to see people and how deeply they care about their parks, their subway stations, their schools, their streets, have real concrete ideas for what will make them better, and really are willing and want to come out and get involved. And so hundreds of people came out to give their ideas. Well over 100 people became volunteer budget delegates who came to hours and hours of meetings to figure out how can we make this project work.
I think the idea is great because the community lives here and they know what is needed better than the politicians who don't live in the community, or especially the radius per se. So I think it's a great idea, but again, it should be somewhere where everyone, because I'm very sure if I didn't know, there's plenty of others who didn't know either.
It was really very inspiring, and at a time when confidence and faith in government is low, when people aren't so sure that government is the place we all come together to say, here are the problems that we need to fix, here's what we can do to fix it, let's do it. This was really an example of government at its best.
For Brooklyn Review, you've been around town with Fred Brown.
There's a project in Prospect Park.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at brickartsmedia.org/BIT.